Circles, Unit 12, Day 1. So, the center of a circle, well, a circle is a set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a given point x. You should know what a circle is. The center of a circle is the point that is the same distance from every point on the circle. And then the radius is the distance between the center of the circle and any point on the circumference. And there's two equations for this, or really it's the same equation. If the center is at 0, 0, then it's x squared plus y squared equals r squared. If the center is at hk, it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So let's look at this. So we're given a center at the origin and a radius of 7. So that's going to be center at 0, 0 and 7 radius. So that's x squared plus y squared equals 7 squared, which is x squared plus y squared equals 49. Okay? Now if the center is at 5, negative 2, and the radius is 8, that means h is 5 and k is negative 2. So that's going to be x minus 5 squared plus y minus negative 2 squared equals 8 squared. But then when you subtract a negative number, that becomes a positive, so that's x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 64. Okay? Now here, we want to write an equation for each translation. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 1. Well, we went left, we have an origin at 0, 0, radius of 1. So we're just going to graph that right there. And the easiest way to graph that is just draw a point right in the center, and then draw a point on top, on the side, on the bottom, and then on the, so I need to draw this bigger. So if we draw a point at 0, 0, you can go up 1, draw a point there, right 1, draw a point there, down 1, draw a point, left 1, draw a point. There's your circle. Okay? Now we went left 4 and down 3. So now my origin is at negative 4, negative 3. And my circle's right there. The equation is x plus 4 because it's always opposite. If those are negative, the signs are positive. So x plus 4 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 1. If we look at B, origin is at 0, 0 and radius of 3. So there's that circle. Now, this goes right 2 units and up 3 units. So that's right there. And that's going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 9. Okay? So, you guys should know this distance formula. It's basically the Pythagorean theorem. But we're given 2 points, and we need to find the distance between them. We're given this point right there is negative 2, 0. That point right there is negative 1, 2. So we can find the distance between them using this distance formula. You're just going to call one x1 and the other one x2. So I said that x1 was negative 2, x2 was negative 1, and y2, they have to correspond. So y2 was 2 and y1 was 0. So that's going to be negative 2 minus negative 1 minus negative 2 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared. Well, negative 1 minus negative 2 is 1. So 1 squared, 2 minus 0 squared is 2 squared. So that's 1 plus 4, which is the square root of 5. Then we need to write an equation of this. The center is at negative 2, 0. And my radius is the square root of 5. So that's going to be x plus 2 squared plus y squared equals 5. Because the square root of 5 squared is 5. Okay? Let's do this one. So we need to find the equation of a circle with the endpoints at 5, 3, and negative 1, negative 5. So that right there is the diameter. And it's given to us that that is the diameter. Okay? First, let's find the center. To find the center of any line, you just have to add your x points, divide that by 2. Add your y points, divide that by 2. So that's going to be 5 plus negative 1 divided by 2. And then 3 plus negative 5 divided by 2, which is 4 divided by 2, and negative 2 divided by 2, which is 2, negative 1. Okay. For the radius, I'm going to use those 2 points that were given, use the distance formula, plug that all in, simplify it down, you get 10. But that's the diameter. Radius is half of the diameter, so that's going to be 5. Okay, we have our radius now, we have our center, so that equation is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25. Okay, now this part is not on your notes, so I would just write it down some more. This is on completing the square, because sometimes we're going to have to do this to make these equations. So if we have x squared minus or plus 6x minus 12 equals 0, to complete the square, we're going to move the 12 over first because I want to isolate all of my x's. So I get x squared plus 6x equals 12. You have to make sure that your a is 1, which in this case it is. Now, to complete the square, you take your b value, so you take whatever's in front of just the x, and divide it by 2. So I'm going to do 6 divided by 2, that equals 3. Then we're going to square it, so 3 squared is 9, and I'm going to add 9 to both sides, because if I add it to both sides, I'm not changing the equation. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 12 plus 9. 12 plus 9 is 21, so that's where I get that 21. Then if you factor this x squared plus 6x plus 9, it factors to x plus 3 squared. You can always look at this number. That's what it's going to factor to. Okay? Let's do another example. So now this time, we're going to use that factoring or completing the square to find an equation of a circle. So I'm going to put the x's together and my y's together. Now, they're both 1 in front of those, so we're good. I'm going to take that negative 6, divide by 2, you get negative 3. Square it, you get 9. So that's why I'm going to add to both sides there. I'm going to also do it with my y's, though. So I'm going to have 2 divided by 2 is 1. Square that, you get 1. That's why I'm going to add to both sides. So I'm going to have x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared plus 2y plus 1 equals 6 plus 9 plus 1, which becomes x minus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared, and that equals 16. Okay, let's do one more. Oh wait, the center is at 3, negative 1, and the radius is 4, because 16 is the radius squared, so the radius, you just square root 16, you get 4. Now let's look at b. I'm going to put this in order so my x's are together and my y's are together. Divide that 6 by 2, square it. Divide negative 4 by 2, square it. So you get x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 15 plus 9 plus 4. And that's x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 28. The center is at negative 3, 2. And my radius is the square root of 28, which is also 2 square roots of 7. Okay. Let's do these last two. So write an equation for a circle with area of 25 pi and the center located at 3, negative 2. Well, I know that the area is pi r squared. So I'm going to set 25 pi equal to pi r squared. Divide by pi. You get 25 equals r squared. So r equals 5. So that's going to be x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 25. Okay. In example 7, it's basically saying that this truck driver spilled all his crap on the highway, and everyone within 1.5 miles has to evacuate. And he spilled at the coordinates 4.57. We have to write an equation to describe the boundary, and then we have to state how many miles need to be evacuated. So first, my radius is 1.5. My center is 4.57. So that's going to be x minus 4.5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 2.25. Then I know the area is pi r squared. So that's going to be pi times 1.5 squared, which is 7.07 miles squared. Okay? Remember to take the quiz. I'll see you tomorrow.